It is wonderful to welcome back to C2C Jennifer Nettles, who was here last year, and Kristian Bush, who was here however many years ago. Well, you were here last year, and the first time. Brave man came the first time. But the first time, Sugarland have been at C2C, and great to have you here.
Very excited, thank you.
And we love the way you, because we saw the CMA Awards in the UK, and the way you walked just surprised us all, and that was where you reappeared.
Yes.
So we know a lot about Sugarland, but it would be good to know about what you've been up to, because at the minute we've just got one track, haven't we? The one track, which I happen to have right. Well, I did have. Here we go. The single.
There it is.
Still the same.
Still the same.
But can you tell us, so that we can all get the story in one go, and whatever you want to say about coming back together, but really interested in what the plan is going forward.
Sure.
And I know you've got a big American tour, but mention that as well. Do you mind if you just a little
No.
Yeah.
Well, we finished the record last week. We're mixing it right now. When we're up on jet lag, at 4 in the morning,
we get mixes in.
we're texting each other, calling each other on the phone in hotel rooms right now.
Yeah. We have a tour planned this summer in the States.
Is this a little tour or a long tour?
It's a 50-day. It's like from Memorial Day to Labor Day, which is end of May into September. So 50 dates, mostly arenas, some sheds, which is like amphitheaters.
So how many shows have you done up to now?
Last night.
You came to us first.
Yeah, we came here first.
So let's go back to when last time you came here, you were on the Graham Norton TV show. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Oh yeah, we were.
Yes.
We played Stuck Like Glue.
Who I love. Yes.
And Stuck Like Glue was on the radio.
We did.
So you said, we are still the same, Sugarland. And you said, we want to pick up where we left off, and that's the story, really, isn't it?
That is the story. I mean, I think, a fun part about this coming back together is that we've done so after over a 5-year hiatus, where we've each gone and filled our cups in other ways. Kristian's done some fantastic projects, writing and producing, and I've had fun on the stage and in TV and film, and done a couple albums as well, and he's also put out a couple albums as well. So I think we've come back together now, recharged and with our cups full of inspiration and new energy. And I think it's that was really the whole point, is that we can do these things. We can do things in Sugarland that we can't do individually, and we can do things individually that we can't do in Sugarland. And isn't that lovely?
So how many musicians do you have with you here?
5? 6?
6. Tour manager's right there saying 6. We have 6. Yes.
And what can we expect tonight?
Oh, well, you're gonna dance.
Dancing hits, songs that you know,
Yeah.
And we're going to, of course, play the single, still the same. We have a surprise in terms of we love our covers, so we've been excited about that. So a couple of surprises, and then, a lot of the stuff that you know and love.
That's great. And if you want to sing Life in a Northern Town again, you can.
Oh, we love it, yes.
Let's see who wants to ask a question. Where are we starting with, Nat? Good, Dan. Thank you.
Dan from yourlifeinasong.com. Does this kind of feel like making your first album all over again? Because I mean, you obviously don't have to prove yourselves again, but in terms of getting back onto country radio and getting live for awards, it must be a challenge for you guys at the radio.
It's interesting.
Yes and no.
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, we have definitely, just as I mentioned, come back together, I think, full of inspiration. There's a lot going on. There's a lot that has gone on for us individually as artists, but also there's a lot going on in the world right now that I think the kind of music that we write together really speaks to in terms of messaging and anthems. So that has felt very poignant and also been super rewarding, I think, for me. But in terms of, does it feel like no.
I would like to earn new fans.
Yes.
If I say it that way. So yes, I kind of agree with you that you can walk in and not know anything on this album, and I want you to fall in love.
Well, and when you think about 5 years, there is a group, especially, of kids who maybe didn't know who we were when we came around the first time, who were just the perfect age. Come on with us.
I watched some people last night in Dublin, like surrounded by people who were fans, and there was like 1 or 2 people that were like, huh, what is this? And by I was like, yeah, we're gonna get that person. And after about song 4, you and I had both been like, you. Yeah. And we had grabbed them. It was awesome.
Do we have another question? Oh, yes.
Nice to see you both again.
Good to see you.
Obviously, Jennifer, we've spoken and
Yes.
been part of each other's stories for a long time now. We've spoken before separately about you being creative individually and wanting to explore things. Now you're back together. How do you use your creation into something new for Sugarland?
I mean, you hear it in the song Still the Same. That song is really it is an account of our first time in a room together in over 7 years, because we hadn't written together since Incredible Machine. So we came in that room and said, okay, what is this going to be? Where do we start? How about right here where we are? And those are the first 2 lines of the song.
Write that down.
Yeah.
That's how it starts, and in about 45 minutes we have a song.
Yeah, but I was pleasantly surprised that when we got in the room, there is such a symbiosis and such a flow between us that is still there. That in many ways, I mean, I hate to use the cliche, but was like riding a bike. I mean, it definitely felt like, oh, this is muscle memory, to create with you. So it was fun.
That's great. Yeah, there.
Hi, this is Marianne from the magazine Living Highlands in Germany. When you write songs, do you have one of your elderly songs that makes you more or less come back to little bits of an old song, which you put into a new song? Or do you have a song that is so much in your heart that you would never ever stop playing it out?
I mean,
That's a tough question.
that is a tough question. I mean, as a writer, I think that there are resounding themes that we can't help, because they're so much a part of who we are, that we can't help but write into many songs. I mean, some people make the argument that there really are only 2 kinds of songs, 2 kinds of stories. But that being said, I don't know. We're always, we're pretty fresh with what's going on with us to take a fresh approach. But at the same time, I think it's important, and you mentioned live. Those things can definitely cycle, but the hits are what, people want to hear the hits, and we definitely want to give them that in the live show, while at the same time keeping it interesting for ourselves.
Yeah, you do everything from the perspective of a fan. And if you do that, everything kind of works. So if you're, whatever is your favorite band, you think, what do I want them to do at the show that I go to? Then just do that. And that's kind of our rule.
Where did the microphone end up? It's there.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi.
Kristian.
Hello.
I'm Margaret Sand from UK Country Radio. Now, first of all, I am so excited that you two are here. So,
Cute.
but there are new people that are coming to know Sugarland. What are the 3 songs that you would choose to introduce yourselves to say, this is Sugarland?
Well, one of them you haven't even heard yet.
True,
So
yeah.
you just got to have one space for the song you're about to get.
For the new one.
Yeah.
I think, gosh, I don't know. I would say
Stay would have to be
Stay
one.
would be one of them.
And then something really up.
Well, Stuck Like Glue got an awful lot of play, and he's still getting played on the radio.
Then Stuck
so
Like
I
Glue,
think
let's
that's
say that.
probably
I
for
like
the-
your
yeah.
answer. It's almost like feeling like a parent. It's hard to choose.
It just depends on.
Well, see, but and when I hear all these, though, I'm thinking how varied they are, how diverse they are from each other. So it depends on what kind of music fan you are. If you like things that are more organic, more singer-songwriterly, I would say Very Last Country Song. If you like something that's more heartfelt ballad, I would say Stay. If you want something that's more poppy, I would say Stuck Like Glue. If you want something fun and a little bit of edge, I would say Incredible Machine. I could
schizophrenic.
And what about?
You know what I would tell you? I would say buy a ticket for a friend and bring them to a show.
Yeah.
And
I
then
always say
that'll do the job.
I always say Steve Earle. That's what I say.
Oh, that's a good one.
One more question. Down the.
I have to pause and tell your story right quick about that.
Steve Earle.
Yes. So I just did a couple months ago. I guess it was February. I just did a tribute to Emmylou Harris in New York. It was because she got a Lifetime Award at the Grammys, and so they had the Americana scene had a tribute for her at a venue the night before. And so I went, and she and Steve are good friends, and he was there, and I literally tried to avoid him the whole night because I was like, I hope he doesn't think that I'm a stalker. Does he even know that we did this song? If he knows that we did so if he knows that we did this song, I don't want him to think that I'm a weirdo the whole time, that I've written a song for him. So I was literally just like, hey Steve, how's it going? Okay, I'm gonna come over here, but yeah.
Because you are as eclectic as any actor I know, because once people get into you, they don't know about life in a northern town, which is very important to us, a lot of people over here. And Steve Earle is, especially if you know Steve Earle, it is such a magnificent performance. So, your eclecticism is fantastic, and I do hope that continues.
Yes.
We've got time for Pip. There we go.
Hi guys, here's the focus. Kristian, I was actually talking to Lindsay Earle recently, who worked on the project, and she was saying she was completely caught off guard by the reunion, as many of us were. Has it been heartwarming to see the reaction that you've got once you've announced this new music and you're doing performances again?
Yes, it's a pretty fantastic thing, first of all, to see Lindsay do what she does, and for the world to get that. The record released a couple of days ago here, and at the same time be creating this. There's something that when you're on both sides, both as artist and both as producer, and many times as writer or not a writer, that the entirety of the experience that happens in your car, your headphones, that is very personal between you and a song, becomes very clear. And watching her do it probably has affected my enthusiasm for watching us do it, because we just did it extremely quickly, like really quickly.
Like we wrote the album in
like as many days as there are songs, like 9
9 days.
We wrote
and recorded it over the course of
4
4
days, right? And Lindsay and I worked for 6 months on that record, right? But I watched, and really, she did the work. I just held the light and then said, "Here, go do that." But it's fantastic.
And Lindsay's been added to tomorrow's press conferences, so she's going to be coming in here. She's an interesting one. So, long overdue return to the UK. We are so excited. We're going to let you go and do your yoga and all the stuff you do backstage. Thank you.
Thank you all.